You're someone who's been described as a rising star, and you've moved quickly up the ranks in your career to maybe the senior manager level, but you've been stuck there for a while. You're at a plateau, and you're not exactly sure why. In today's video, I'm going to explain why that happens more often than you might think, and what you can do to actually finally get to the executive level. Hi, my name is Tom Cox, and I'm the founder of Vertical Motion, where we help mid-career professionals become executives. If you're someone with 10 years of experience or more, and you have some experience managing people, and you have a goal to become a vice president or a C-suite executive, then watch this video here. It's the main video on the channel that walks you through the step-by-step process you have to take from where you are to where you want to be. And there's a whole bunch of steps that you want to take, and you're welcome to take them on your own, or if you're interested to work with someone to help you get there a whole lot faster and do it the right way, then you can reach out to me. There's a link down below where you can book a call, where you and I will talk to see if we'd be a fit to work together. We would work together to help you get to that executive level. I run a program that coaches people to become executives, and it's an outcome-based program, which means that we work together until you are an executive. And so I make sure that the people that I work with are people that I believe can actually get there. And then typically when you become an executive, a signing bonus will cover the cost of your program working with me, and it pays itself 10 times over year as your salary increases, typically by upwards of $100,000 a year by going from senior manager to vice president. Okay, today we're talking about why it seems so hard to get from the manager or junior director level up to the senior director or VP or even C-suite level. It seems like you've moved up your career from here to here to here to here to here, and then you've reached a plateau. And that plateau is typically at the senior manager level. I see this all the time. I've had this plateau myself. It's very understandable. And there's analogies. When I say senior manager, it could be different titles in different industries and different sets of roles. But generally speaking, there's this level where you're just below being an executive and you're stuck there, and you can get stuck there for a very long time. So there's a couple reasons why this happens. And so I'm gonna walk through not only why this happens, but what you can do about it to actually shake this off and move to the next level, up to the executive level. So the first reason that people get stuck just below the executive level is because it's very competitive to get to the next level. And think about this, there are just fewer chairs the higher up the pyramid that you go. When you become a senior manager, there's quite a few chairs to sit in. But when you go to vice president or senior director, there are fewer and fewer chairs. And then get to the C-suite, there's even fewer chairs than that. There are so many people who are staring at that exact same chair saying, oh, it's right there. I can just get that chair. All I have to do is just keep doing what I'm doing to get there. No. It's like if you're a high school athlete and you're a superstar, every time you play, you're the star pitcher, you strike out everyone, you hit home runs every time at bat, but then you go to college and you play D1 baseball and you're getting struck out and you're getting hit home runs off of, and all of a sudden you're not this amazing superstar because everyone who was a superstar in their high school are now on your team and on the teams you play against. And then let's say that you do super well in college. Well, now you go to the minors, and then it's a fight to get from single A to double A to triple A. And then from there to the majors is a huge leap up. As higher you go, there are fewer and fewer chairs and seats to sit in on the way up. Everybody's staring at the same chairs that you are. So what do you do about this? Well, what you do is you set yourself apart from everyone else. You demonstrate strong leadership skills. You demonstrate your executive presence, and you demonstrate the ability to have a clear vision for the future of the organization for which you want to work. Those things set you apart from people that are also looking at the same chair. It's not what you have done that gets you to the next level. It's what you will be able to do that gets you there. And it's a super important mindset shift that you have to make to take the next step. Number two can be a very frustrating one, and that is when they are expecting a certain level of experience. There's an experience requirement that they have. They expect you to have experience managing teams. They expect you to have, it's this catch-22. You have to have been an executive before you can be an executive in many cases. And that's very frustrating. And I understand that. It's difficult to break through that catch-22. There are ways to deal with this though. I just signed a client last night, in fact, and his issue was this, that he was perfectly suited for VP level roles, but where he worked didn't give him the ability to manage people. He was a director and he did all of the things that a director does and has all the skills to be a vice president, but for whatever reason, the organization that he worked for didn't allow him to have direct reports. So he had no management experience, and this disqualified him from a bunch of opportunities. He actually did something very smart. He went out and actually took an intermediate role. And this is what I suggest that you do the same as well. You take an intermediate role that gives you the skills that you're lacking. So if you're constantly being disqualified because you don't have management experience, go get a role as a manager and get that management experience. If you're disqualified because you don't have finance experience, suck it up and go work with finance, either on a team project that you can call out how you've done the thing, or go work in the finance organization. My point is that if you're being disqualified for certain skills, to avoid moving up to the next level, maybe you need to take an intermediate or lateral step to somewhere that helps you round out your resume. The third reason why landing an executive role is so hard is networking. 70% of candidates who become executives land their roles through what's kind of referred to as a hidden network, the executive network. These are jobs that are not posted on LinkedIn or Indeed or some other job board. They're jobs that are shared by word of mouth or through recruiters, or quietly tapping someone on the shoulder saying, hey, I have an opportunity. I think you'd be a good fit. Would you be willing to sit for an interview? That happens at the executive level. You need to be able to break into that. Well, how do you do that? Primarily, you do this by raising your profile, by being seen more and more by people online and in real life. You want to be expanding your professional network, and you do this by going to industry events and meeting as many people as you can. Posting online, specifically on LinkedIn, where you are talking about things that are valuable to your industry, that people would resonate with, and kind of share and demonstrate your skills that people are looking for. The fourth reason is probably because you have the wrong mindset about things. Executive mindset is very different than the mindset you have as an individual contributor or a manager. Executives think very broadly, and how we think is generally we think horizontally, vertically, and through time. It means that as an executive, I'm thinking about things horizontally across the entire organization. Most recently, I was a senior sales executive, and I ran a sales team here in North America for a publicly traded company. My sales team focused on one thing, but I was focused on several things. I looked across not only my organization, but across my industry and to competitors and to technologies, and just basically paying attention to what's happening throughout the world. Vertically, I'm thinking about not just my customers in the sales role that I was in, but I'm also thinking about my vendors, and I'm thinking about my customers' customers, and I'm thinking about my vendors' suppliers and the supply chain in general. Even though I'm the VP of sales, I care very much about the global supply chain. It's because as an executive, I have to be aware of what's coming, a year down the road. So I look at the world very broadly, not just necessarily when am I going to get the next sale? And then when I talk about looking at the world through time, what I'm saying is executives will look at the world as it is, but as it will be as well. I'm looking at the world 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. We do project out 10 years. When you talk with an executive and you are complaining about something that's happening right now, you are dragging that executive 10 years back in the past to the present for them to understand what's going on. That's why they don't care about today's problems. They have managers and directors to care about today's problems. Executives are focused on tomorrow's problems, and they are adjusting and aligning the organization to get it to the point where it's ready for tomorrow's problems. That's why executives are always thinking horizontally, vertically, and through time. And the fifth reason why you may not be landing these executive roles is because the higher you go, the harder the interviews get. Executive interviews are very different than technical interviews or individual contributor interviews or even manager interviews. When you're interviewing for a manager role, they're typically looking at your people skills and your ability to manage the resources of the company. When you're being interviewed for an individual contributor role, such as like a software developer role, they're technically evaluating you and also making sure that you're a personality fit for their culture. As an executive, those interviews are very different. What they want to see is, are you a fit for them in their future? You have to bring to them a sense that you can fit into their company and take them to the next level, that you can actually not only become a part of their company culture, but you can lead the culture and you can lead the systems of the company in the direction that they want to take the company ultimately. In my Executive Career Accelerator program, I have a module that I love. It's my favorite module of the whole program, and it's called God Mode Interviewing. What I do is I teach people who go into executive interviews how to come out of that interview in a way where the interviewer is like, that is a star. We need her or him on our team. That's where I want you to be when you go into your executive interviews. You go in feeling and knowing that you're going to nail that interview and that everyone else is going to be way behind you after that interview. Everyone that did interview you are saying to themselves, wow, this is a superstar. Can we even afford this person? God Mode Interviewing is my favorite module. It's my favorite thing to teach. It's inside of my Executive Career Accelerator program. If you work with me as your coach to help you take the next level in your executive role, you'll learn that and you will go into your executive interviews feeling absolutely confident that you can nail the interview. So those are some of the reasons why it may seem like moving to the executive level it's right there. It's super easy. You can see the chair, you can taste it. You're almost there, but you're just stuck at this plateau. It's because there's all these other things that are happening. It's like going from AAA minor leagues to the major leagues. It's like going from D1 football to the NFL. It seems easy, but very few people actually make that transition. And if you want to, there are a whole bunch of things that you have to do differently. And there's a whole bunch of mindset shifts that you have to make to move to the next level, because going from manager to executive is very different than going from junior manager to senior manager. You need new skills. You need executive skills to take the next level. The last thing I'll leave you with is you need patience and perseverance to do this. Don't give up just because you've had some bad interviews. Don't give up because you've had some people pass you over. It happens. We all get passed over for promotion until we're promoted. If you go on 10 interviews and 9 of them tell you that you're not qualified to be an executive, you're an executive because the 10th one said, yeah, let's go. So keep in mind that this is a numbers game. It does take time. You have to find the right fit culturally, personality, technically, the right timing of everything. There's a lot of variables that go into this, and all you can do is just keep building your executive skills, keep building your brand and your presence, and keep making sure that you're aimed in the direction that you really want to take your life. If that's all interesting to you, I suggest that you book a call with me and we can talk through how you and I can work together to get you there. The team is growing. Everything that we're doing here is blowing up. It's super exciting to see all of the people coming into the program. I'm excited to be introducing a whole bunch of new capabilities to the program. A lot of the training is now being codified in a course, and I still work one-on-one with all of my clients at the moment. So if you want to work one-on-one with me, definitely give a call now. Let's get you booked in. Let's have a conversation. See if we're a fit. Watch this video and it'll help you understand not only what you need to do, but how we can work together. I hope to see you on a call sometime soon, and I hope your career is going great. With that, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.